What do you have? Are you really gonna activate 2 of these concentrating currents? And can I not change? This dude has 3 concentrating currents! I can't make this up! I actually can't make this up. This guy had 3 concentrating currents. What's up, everybody? Watt007 here, and welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. Today, I'm going to be showcasing the brand new Structure Deck EX King's Residence in full action. Give you guys my review on the Structure Deck and tell you guys if you should buy it or not. Spoiler alert, though, this deck is kinda ass. After playtesting this deck for a couple hours now, this deck has just been very inconsistent, but I'm going to show you guys a couple replays where I did win a couple duels with this deck. I'm going to show you guys some combos and cards that you can use to utilize this deck correctly, and then we're going to go into some live duels in today's video to show you guys in action on just how kind of inconsistent this deck is. Without further ado though, let's get into today's video. So the first replay we have was just a really cool replay that I won with this deck. I didn't get to summon the Red Dragon Archfiend Assault mode, but I was still able to pull off a really cool win. But we're going to talk about the good and bad parts about this deck. And first things first, the builds that I've been personally trying out a lot, they've been very, very bricky, and you know, you gotta love a very bricky hand like this. Also, I got to the point where I couldn't win with this deck just by itself, so I started teching invoke cards into the deck because this deck is just so bad by itself that I had to just tech in something to be usable for this deck. So we have Invocation right here, which has been very helpful in certain duels. Nonetheless, though, we're going to go against a Yami Yugi. He's going to set a card down. And of course, we got a good brick right here. One first thing that's awesome about this deck, I'm being sarcastic right here, but you do not want to draw into your Red Dragon Archfiend Assault mode. Personally, for me, I'm running 2 copies of this card in my deck just because of the opportunity to potentially summon into Assault mode multiple times in a duel. But at the same time, probably running 1 copy of this card is probably the best case scenario, because you do not want this card in your hand, because you cannot special summon Red Dragon Archfiend Assault mode if you have it in your hand. You only can special summon it from the deck using Assault mode activate. Nonetheless, though, we have Cosmic Cyclone and Paleozoic Canadia right here. We're going to set both of these cards face down because that's literally all we can do. Luckily, Yugi isn't playing his full powered Element Sabers, or he just doesn't have all the good cards to play the Element Saber cards, so he's running these more weaker Element Sabers here, and I can kind of tell that this deck is kind of like a different version of the meta Element Saber deck. But nonetheless, these cards were a little bit troublesome. Next up, this person's going to activate his Element Saber to search out for Molu. Molu is probably one of the best cards for Element Sabers. I don't know why he didn't summon as this card the entire duel, because there's some previous duels where I went against where I tried to use this structure deck against Element Saber invoked, and I could not handle it at all because this guy kept flipping down my Red Dragon Archfiends, and I couldn't have the opportunity to summon into another one of my Red Dragon Archfiends to get over this card. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind, is that this deck cannot handle invoked, especially Element Saber invoked, because once they get the combo going with Element Saber Molu, they're going to just keep floodgating your Red Dragon Archfiend. You just can't do a thing because this deck isn't good enough to summon multiple monsters at once. Anyways, we're going to get attacked a couple times and then move on in today's duel. We draw into our Invoker, and I did a huge misplay right here. I completely forgot that this Element Saber can negate my spell and trap cards. I really should have activated my Canadia to flip down his Element Saber, which he would have negated it in the first place. But then I would have been able to go for my Invocation and be a-okay, because then I could have used this Element Saber in the graveyard from his side of the field, so then go into my Earth Fusion invoked monster. But that did not happen. We made a hard misplay right here, but we're still able to get a really sick win. Nonetheless, we're going to play Switcheroo. We're going to get our Assault mode out of here and search for our Assault Beast. I probably should have pitched it to the graveyard and searched for my Assault mode activated then on my deck, but I didn't choose to do that because at the same time, Invoker is just only 1,000 attack, and I wasn't confident that I was going to get this card out of the field right away, and I wasn't confident to get another Invocation because I'm only running 1 copy of it in my deck, so I kept the Assault Beast because he just has 1900 attack, which is pretty good. Next up, though, he's going to keep doing his Element Saber combo, search for this Element Saber yet again so he can negate my stuff. Very, very obnoxious. We're going to take some damage right here, which is annoying. I think I was able to trigger Switcheroo again. No, I was not. I wasn't able to trigger Switcheroo, but this is where the sick stuff happens. So he's going to activate his Source 3 card to search for his Invoker, and then he's going to activate his Invocation to Fusion Summon into his monster. What I do right here, though, is activate Cosmic Cyclone, so I don't want him to add back his Invoker to then give his Fusion monsters 1,000 attack. So we're going to banish the Invocation so he can't play that card from the graveyard, and then what we're going to be able to do is that now we're going to be able to trigger Switcheroo yet again with our Cosmic Cyclone, which is very nice. So we're going to go for the couple banishment right there and go into our Invoked Mage. Or no, he's going to go into his Invoked Mage, my bad. And we're going to activate Canadia right here. He can't negate it this go around, which is very nice. And then we're able to force him to switch both of his monsters in the defense position. Next up, we we draw into our Aliester, and if I didn't get the card that I needed from this turn, I could have summoned Aliester to go into another one of my invoked mages, but luckily we were able to get it to our Sight Reflector, and Sight Reflector is very cool, and a lot of you guys in the comment section of one of my previous videos was very, very, very kind on, you know, just teaching me how to play this card properly. So let me teach anybody else that doesn't know how to play this card properly on this video, because I sure got a history lesson on my other video, that's for sure. Anyway, so the first cool thing about Sight Reflector is that when you normal or special summon this card, you get to add a Assault Mode Activate or one card that specifically lists Assault Mode Activate in its text from your deck to your hand except Sight Reflector. So what we're going to do is that we're going to search out for our Assault Beast. Next up, we're going to go pitch our Assault Beast into the graveyard and then search for our Assault Mode Activate. And then we're going to be able to trigger Sight Reflector's secondary effect, where it states you can reveal Assault Mode Activate in your hand, then target one monster in your graveyard that specifically lists Assault Mode Activate in its text except Sight Reflector and special summon it. And if you do increase its level by 1 to 4, you only can use the effect of Sight Reflector once per turn. And what's cool about that effect is that we can actually trigger, or we can actually use Assault Beast and special summon it onto the field. Now that we special summon Assault Beast on the field, we're going to change him, we're going to increase his level by 3 and make him a level 7 non-tuner monster, and then we're going to synchro with it with Sight Reflector to go into our Red Dragon Archfiend. So that's kind of the point of that right there, and then we can set our Assault Mode Activate. Anyways, we're going to be attacking into Yamayugi's defense position monster right here, and then Red Dragon Archfiend's effect is going to trigger. We're going to be able to destroy both of our opponent's defense position monsters, and then attack with our Assault Beast and win the game right there. If we had our Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode in that situation, we actually would have lost the duel because... we wouldn't have lost the duel, but we wouldn't have been able to win that duel. Because I've noticed that, like, while Red Dragon Archfiend's effect states, if this card attacks, destroy all other monsters after damage calculation, it's, like, good and bad, but the bad thing is that it destroys your own monsters. So in that situation, we would have lost. But still, it was overall a really cool duel right there. I was glad to showcase this. So let me show you guys one more duel of me summoning into Red Dragon Archfiend, and then I'm going to show you guys my deck list and tell you guys some of the bad things about this deck, even though I kind of already did in this replay. So this duel, I had a good hand to summon into our Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, which has been really cool. What we're going to do is we're going to do that combo yet again. We're going to go with Sight Reflector, search for our third Assault Beast. We're going to pitch one of our Assault Beasts to the graveyard to search for Assault Mode Activate. We're going to play Sight Reflector's effect to special summon Assault Beast, increase its level by 3, and then summon into Red Dragon Archfiend. Another thing, if you didn't know already, you can actually use Sight Reflector and Assault Beast to go into a combo to summon into some other monsters too, because you can use a secondary effect to increase level 1 to 4. So you can basically increase Assault Beast level by 1 to make him a 5-star, and then trigger or combo Sight Reflector, go into a 6-star synchro monster, etc, etc. You can do that with 6, 7, 8, and 9-star synchro monsters, which is very cool. And one thing I should have mentioned earlier in this replay is that this is actually a matchup where I went against Dark Lords, and the duel was actually undecided because, spoiler alert, my opponent actually did a disconnect, and I don't know if it was him rage quitting or whatever the case may be, but it was actually either player's game, but I still felt like I had a small chance of winning, and since I technically did win because he disconnected, I wanted to showcase this replay since I did get some action with Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, which was really cool. So this was a matchup against Dark Lords, which is also a pretty meta deck. Anyways, he's going to play his Dark Lord's effects, pitch it to the graveyard, draw 2 cards, use Banishment of the Dark Lord, search for Dark Lord Contract. This is just the standard, very obnoxious Dark Lord combos. Activate Dark Lord Contact to get out Super Blah, or I know that's not how you pronounce it, but that's just how I like to pronounce it. And then we're going to go into our Dark Lord over there. We're going to play Canada right here, and what's going to happen is that Dark Lord's going to trigger her effect, play Banishment of the Dark Lord yet again to search for Sanctified Dark Lord, which can negate my monster effects, which is very obnoxious, but we're able to flip that down so that we can hopefully attack with Red Dragon Archfiend possibly. But then what happened right here is that Mokuba activated this card where you can actually protect, set spell and trap cards cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So actually, even if I drew into any of my back row, I wouldn't have been able to target his back row. So that's annoying. And then we also had to deal with a stinky Dark Lord Desire. So what I had to do right here is that when he triggered its effect, actually he didn't trigger its effect, so he knew I had Assault Mode Activate. So in that situation right here, what's cool about Assault Mode Activate is that if he did activate his Dark Lord Desire's effect where you can target a monster opponent controls, this card loses 1,000 attack, and if it does, send that target to the graveyard. We could have chained Assault Mode Activate, summon into our Assault Mode Red Dragon Archfiend, and then go from there and not worry about Dark Lord Desire's sneaky effect. But this guy knew that I had it in the first place, so he's like, I'm not going to weaken my attack. I'm just going to go for the battle phase, and that's what happened. So we're going to still trigger our effect nonetheless and get out our Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, which is very cool. Next up, we're going to just draw a card right here. We got to a Canadian, which wasn't that bad. Next up, I did pitch an Assault Beast to search for another Assault Mode Activate activate because I had a feeling that I was going to play the long game here, so I wanted to get another one of those set up just in case if Assault Mode did get destroyed, and then I could summon my Red Dragon Archfiend from the graveyard and then go to another Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode since I had 2 copies of it in my deck. But then what happened right here is that Mokuba was going to negate my Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode for a second since Mokuba triggered it during this scene right here, this part right here. I thought he was negating my Assault Beast, but no, he was not. He was negating my Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode. Luckily though, Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode is 3,500 attack, so I was able to get over that Dark Lord. His Assault Modes activate, or Assault Mode's effect did get negated though, so I couldn't destroy the other Dark Lord sadly, but it's good to go right here. He's gonna trigger his Sanctuary of Sky effects, or more of his Sanctum of, I don't know how to pronounce that last word right there, but he'll trigger that effect to return the Dark Lords back into the deck, so then he can search for them again. And then I think this was the part right here where I just straight up disconnected. Or yeah, it was just straight up disconnected right there. So the reason why I felt like it was kind of either player's duel in that situation is because I did have a Canadia still on my side of the field, and I don't think Mokuba had any ways to get rid of it. If he did summon it to his Dark Lord Desire, I was able to just Canadia that and not have to worry about dealing with his Dark Lord Desire, and then I was still able to have my Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode face up on the field. And if that was the case, then I would have been able to go into my turn and then go attack into his Dark Lord monsters and be able to get rid of them. Still, there is the chance though that he did have his trap card, his Sanctified Dark Lord, still ready to go, which is pretty obnoxious. I think I still had to deal with that, but I would have still been able to take out the Dark Lord Desire and then play the long game and slowly keep trickling him down, because even though he can use his life points to negate my Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, I think like the long game would have been able to win. So I did win right here. I still think it was anybody's duel though, because he could have top deck into a good card, I could have top deck into a card that I needed, etc, etc, but it was still a good duel overall. So this is my Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode deck. I'm calling it Burning Soul, and I was originally using this with Jack Atlas using the King of the Archfiend skill, but that skill did not work out that well at all. Now, we're going to be playing an invoked version of this deck, as you've seen from those replays, because this deck is just booty, and I needed something to boost the consistency of this deck a little bit. So we're going to be rocking the skill Switcheroo. If you have a skill called Cosmic Enlightenment, though, from Esparopa, it is a PvP farmable skill. If you have that skill, run that instead, because you can actually, once you lose the 1,000 life points, you can search for a random psychic monster from your deck and add it to your hand after you lose 1,000 life points instead of conducting your normal draw. And Psy Reflector is a psychic monster, and it would be your only psychic monster you're running your deck. So if you have Cosmic Enlightenment somehow, some way from Esparopa, run that instead so that you can guarantee to get into your Psy Reflector, so that you can guarantee to get into your Red Dragon Archfiend and Assault Mode combo. For now though, we're going to be rocking Switcheroo because that's just a more free to play skill for this deck. Rocking 2 copies of Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode from the structure deck, rocking 3 copies of Eliaster the Invoker from the Dark Dimension main box, rocking 3 copies of Psy Reflector from the structure deck, 3 copies of Assault Beast from the structure deck, 1 Invocation from the Dark Dimension box, Night Beam from the Cybernetic Rebellion box. If you have 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, rock 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. I'm just rocking 2 of them because I only have 2 of them. Cosmic Cyclones from Galactic Origin. Also, there's a Cosmic Cyclone bundle in the store if you're willing to spend some cash for that. Rocking 2 copies of Canadia right here, Valiant Souls box. Only have 2 of them because I'm only rocking 2 of them because I only got 2 copies of it. Rocking 1 copy of Floodgate from Generation Next. And then we have 2 copies of the Assault Mode Activate from the structure deck. Next up, rocking 2 copies of the Invoked Mage. This is the only one that I'm rocking in this deck because it's an Earth attribute card, and you can combo it with your Assault Beast. 2 copies of Red Dragon Archfiend. It's our main 8-star synchro monster we can go into. If you want to, you can drop this and add like a Stars Dragon, Scrap Dragon, etc. But for now, we're going to be rocking 2 copies of Red Dragon Archfiend. Rocking 1 Broniac and 1 Armades just as different synchro opportunities, because Psy Reflector plus Invoker can go into Keeper of the Boundaries, and then if I need to, I can increase the level of Assault Beast by 1, combo with Psy Reflector and summon into Broniac and use Broniac's effect to return cards to the hand. So that's kind of it right there when it comes to the deck. So the main thing about this Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode deck is that you're going to be using Psy Reflector as your main combo piece, which, like I said, rock the Cosmic Enlightenment skill if you haven't already, because that's going to be the way to search for this card. Because Psy Reflector, like I've showcased in the dual replay, is going to be able to go into your Red Dragon Archfiend and get you set up for your Assault Mode activate. You summon it to Psy Reflector, activate its effect to search for Assault Beast, use Assault Beast effect to pitch it to the graveyard and search for Assault Mode activate. Next up, use Psy Reflector's second effect to special summon Assault Beast back in the graveyard and increase its level by 3, and then go to the synchro summon of Red Dragon Archfiend. And then you set your Assault Mode activate and go from there. What's cool about Assault Mode activate is the fact that if your Red Dragon Archfiend gets targeted by your opponent's card effects, you can trigger Assault Mode activate to then special summon into your Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, so then you can play around certain spell and trap cards in the game. Now, The issue is, though, is that the big thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is the fact that there's just so many cards in this game that negate stuff and stop your combos right away. That's the biggest problem with this deck when you're trying to use it. There's been many times where I've been trying to get into my Red Dragon Archfiend, and if I don't get into my Red Dragon Archfiend, there's a high chance that I'll lose. And the worst part is, even if I summon it to my Red Dragon Archfiend and get into my Assault Mode activate, and get into my Assault Mode Red Dragon Archfiend, I still have a high chance to lose because there's just so many resources that you're using just to get out into this guy. And the fact that your opponent can just easily stop your combo just like that is very obnoxious. For example, Sight Reflector and plus Assault Beast, you need both of them on the field to go to the Synchro Summon. Well, fun fact, Treacherous Trapple can just destroy it immediately, which is very annoying. Or, when you summon into your Red Dragon Archfiend, your opponent's going to play Canadia, Floodgate to stop your monster from there. Or, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, there's just so many cards in the game that can just stop you from, or can just negate your spell and trap cards and stuff like that too. So if you want to go into your Assault Mode, your opponent can negate your Assault Mode activate, etc, etc. And by the time you do get out into your Red Dragon Archfiend, your opponent could have other cards like Wall Disruption to weaken the attack of your monster. Easy peasy like that, which is very obnoxious. Also, Invoked is easily able to summon into our Invoked Mage just like that in a snap and then boost its attack to 4,000 using its own effect. Invoked just absolutely destroys his deck, no questions about it, which is very obnoxious. And the reason why I'm rocking Invoked myself is because it's just such a good archetype that I just need to try to make this deck a little bit better. That's kind of like my gripe with it, is that in the Invoked matchup, you're just going to get just memed on the entire time, which is just super, super annoying right there. And overall, this deck is just too slow of a deck. It's not able to get multiple boss monsters on the field easily, and it's not able to get multiple resources on the field easily to negate stuff, because the top decks in this game are able to spam out a bunch of monsters with protection effects, or they're able to spam out one strong monster that is super protected or is able to negate stuff in the game. This deck, though, the Structure Deck EX, just doesn't have the capabilities to do it, which sucks because the concept of this deck is honestly really cool in my opinion. I really like the fact that you can easily summon into Red Dragon Archfiend or any other Synchro monsters with just Sight Reflector alone, and then have the possibility to then combo Assault Mode activate and then go into your Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode. I think the concept of Assault Modes is just such a cool archetype, but it's just such a niche and slow combo that you're just not able to really pop off. I really hope, though, that in one of the future boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, we actually get more of these Synchro Assault Mode cards in the game so that there's some more value to the Structure Deck. Because honestly, the only value to the Structure Deck is just to buy one copy of it with 1,000 gems to get a guaranteed copy of Red Dragon Archfiend and then Powerful Rebirth when it comes to the reprints. And then I guess just to have a collection of Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, because I'm not gonna lie, I really like the artwork of this card. It's one of my favorites in the game. Anyways, though, we dragged on long enough about this deck. Let's go hop into a couple duels in today's video. We're gonna probably just do 1 or 2 live duels. So let's go see if we can get lucky and get a live win in today's video. Go to get somebody Platinum Rank 6. Got a lot of achievements in this game. Good for you, my amigo. You're playing Chad's Princeton. I wonder what deck you're playing. Right now, we're playing some good old Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode. Let's see if we can snag a win right here. We're going first, depending on how good our opening hand is. We'll see if this is good or not. Yeah, this is honestly not horrible. Let's go into our Sight Reflector. Sight Reflector, and then we're going to search for our Assault the Beast. I'm going to go into our Assault Beast right here. Honestly, the only brick about this is just opening up into our Assault Mode, and that's about it. Luckily, we're playing 2 copies of Assault Mode, so we should be good to go right here. Anyways, we're going to search for, we're going to show him our Assault Mode activate, go into our Assault Beast, increases level by 3, and then go for the Synchro Shokin of your boy Red Demon Dragon. Yeah, luckily I have a second Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode in our deck, or else we wouldn't be able to go for our Assault Mode combos. But yeah, no, we have an Invoker for the next turn, which is really nice, and then we have our Assault Mode just in case if Chaz Princeton gets any trickiness up his sleeve, which is very cool. Gotta stay on top of my game, though, real quick. Let's see what this Chad's gonna do. So he's gonna go into the Dark Sealed Fusion. What Fusion monster are you gonna be going to, my amigo? We have a Floodgate for whatever Fusion monster he does go into, though. Oh, really? Is he just gonna crash? Don't. Oh. For to turn that toggle to on, I guess, just in case if he has anything up his sleeve. What do you have? Are you really gonna activate 2 of these concentrating currents? And can I not chain? This dude has 3 concentrating currents. I can't make this up. I actually can't make this up. This guy had 3 concentrating currents. What is this game? Bro, what is this game? Hold up. We're going to activate Switcheroo, though. So I want to kind of summon 2 Red Dragon Archfiend again if we can. What a meme. Oh my god, wait. Do I want to? I really shouldn't. But I want to so bad. No! We have Assault Mode activate on our side. Yeah, we can actually win right here. Bro. This dude literally activated 3 concentrating currents. Oh my goodness, I cannot make that up. I legit can't make that up. What timeline am I in right now? Well, we're gonna go into another Red Dragon Archfiend, luckily, if I don't mess this up. Yeah, let's go for the 3 right there. I am literally dumbfounded right now, like, honestly. You just can't make that up. Chaz Princeton with this triple concentrating current. I have had so many memes with this structure deck, if I'm being honest. Like, there's just been so many hilarious memes from the structure deck alone. If you didn't check my community tab, check my community tab, because there are some funny moments that I have had with this deck. Mostly BS. There were some BS moments right there, but it was funny nonetheless. I'm super glad, though, that we got that dub like that, though. That was a good showcase of the deck right here. Like, Side Reflector is so good. If you have Cosmic Alignment skill, rock that skill, because you lose 1,000 light points, you can automatically draw into your Psychic Monster, which is really cool. But that was crazy right there. I can't make that up. So our next opponent is Platinum Ring 6. This guy is playing Esperopa, so he's most likely trying out the brand new structure deck. Are we getting a structure deck mirror match? Let's go, boys. And we win, you'll gain a rank. Who would have thought I would gain a rank with a deck like this? Oh my goodness. We got a brick hand, though. Love you, Konami. Thank you very much. Hopefully this guy sets Assault Mode activates so we can just Cosmic it real quick. Oh my goodness, though. Are you joking me? Why did I brick so bad, dude? Why is my luck so bad? This guy also looked like he bricked. He's going triple back row. What a mad lad, dude. What a mad lad. Yo, Assault Beast, though. Let's get it. We're gonna activate our Cosmic Cyclone, though. Snipe the middle card. Boom, bada bang, there we go. Of course it's a powerful Rebirth. Okay, then. I mean, I have another Cosmic Cyclone. We're gonna go for a Switcheroo. We're gonna Switcheroo real quick. I'm trying to remember, Switcheroo once per duel? Oh, it's once per turn, twice per duel. Okay. I don't know if it'll trigger again, though, if I activate Cosmic Cyclone right now, and then curious if I would be able to activate next turn. No matter what, though, so we gotta go into our Evoker. I am gonna banish another one of his cards, because this back row is looking pretty menacing, not gonna lie. Ooh, that was a good snipe. That was actually an extremely good snipe right there. Let's get it. Let's get it. The only thing that sucks... Oh, no, actually, we're still fine. Even if we get into our Side Reflector, we can still go for some combos. But this is why we're rocking Invocation right here, boys and girls. So we can go for these spicy combos. So we actually have some playability with this deck, and I think that last card is his Assault Mode activates, so we're sniping all the cards we need to. Actually, no, sniping Powerful Rebirth sucked. That was actually a bad snipe, but oh well. We are going to get our own bait card, though, and then we're going to go swing and attack into him. Oh, I was about to say, do you really have something else that's not Assault Mode activate? I would genuinely be surprised. So the Invokes are coming through right now. Even if he gets into his Red Dragon Archfiend, which he's going to be able to do, we can just pitch our Invoker and boost our attack right here. But like I said, Cosmic Enlightenment, it's a good skill. It's a skill that you're going to want to run to use this deck to its full potential. But for me, we're rocking that good old free-to-play Switcheroo, which usually memes on us. Usually memes on us pretty bad. But I think, if I remember correctly, then we added our Invoker to our hand, which was pretty nice. Anyways, he's going to go for his Assault Mode combo right here. Very obnoxious. I have a feeling he's going to try to crash, which is going to be annoying. Which is going to be very annoying right here. But yeah, he's going to go for his Synchro Shokan. Actually, I think this guy's going to play it a little bit different. Oh, yeah, knowing my luck, he's probably going to Synchro summon it to a different monster. Yep. So yeah, we lose right here because he's going to summon into like Vermilion Dragon Mech or whatever it's called. And then just pop my mage. If he summoned to a Red Dragon Archfiend, we would have taken the Fat Owl, but nope. Big oof right here. Big oof right here. Can't do anything about that though. GG to this amigo. I am glad he was able to win. Yeah, I guess if I didn't... Well, no. If I didn't activate my second Cosmic Cyclone, I wouldn't have gotten to my Invoke, so it didn't matter. It really didn't matter because we sniped the Floodgate right there. But yeah, we took a fatty L right there. That's okay, though. That's a good on you. That was a sick mirror match. I'm going to send him a nice, actually. Well, that's going to be it for today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. Final verdict of this new structure deck that you can get in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I'd say that if you're a free-to-play player and you really want to get Red Dragon Archfiend, spend the 1,000 gems to get the guaranteed Red Dragon Archfiend. That's probably the best value for the average player, is just to get a free copy of Red Dragon Archfiend without going into the Red Dragon Archfiend main box and pull it with gems, when you can just spend 1,000 gems outright and get Red Dragon Archfiend on top of some other really cool cards. When it comes to competitiveness, though, so far from what I can tell, this deck deck is not competitive at all. It's kind of a flop deck, kind of like Magician of Chaos, where Magician of Chaos was just cool, but it's a very niche deck that just really couldn't handle the current meta. So it kind of sucks that these previous two structure decks, the Magician of Chaos and then the King's, I forgot what you call it, but the Red Dragon Archfiend structure deck EX, both of these EX decks are just kind of a flop. I'm hoping that the next structure deck EX is going to be really good, because overall structure deck EXs have a great track record of being very meta defining structure decks. It just kind of sucks that these past two ones have been kind of a flop as of late, that's for sure. But still, hope you guys enjoyed today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. If you haven't already, be sure to go smash the like button on the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links content. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll go see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.
In a cycle repeat. A lie. How many chasing their dreams? A lie. How many of us give up cause we taking the failure as if it's defeat? A lie. How many of us is weak? A lie. How many of us is scared? A lie. How many of us don't understand that we got somebody who really cares? A lie.